Hello friends and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel. My name is Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and for community building in the crypto space. So please do your own research before you invest in this or in any project. Terarium is a sponsor of the Crypto Stacker channel. Friends, happy Terarium Tuesday. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to make a video. Last week I had to skip. I did have a sinus surgery a few days before my last intended film time. And quite frankly, I thought I'd be okay, but it was a little bit rougher on me than I thought it was going to be. You can see I still have a little bit of swelling around my eyes and around my nose area where they did the procedure. But overall, I feel like things are getting much better. I'm feeling quite well. My energy levels are coming back. I've been able to go back to work. So good stuff. I appreciate your patience. Let's jump into this. I'll give you an overview of what I'm seeing out in the terrarium space. You guys give me your thoughts. If there's anything that I'm missing or things you wanted me to talk about, put them in the comments of this video. So you can see here the current price of Terarium 90255. That is a relatively low price. Now it's up off of its low. Here a little more than 24 hours ago, it was 9021-ish. So it has hopped back up a little bit. But compared to where we were last week, certainly a couple weeks ago, it's a pretty dramatic decline in the price. And we'll be looking at that in the spreadsheet. I'll kind of talk about it and give you my thoughts. And we'll talk about maybe some possible reasons why this price has dipped down a little bit. We'll jump right into it. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. So today is the 9th where I'm at currently, but it's just about to tip over to the 10th, which is Terarium Tuesday. The holder count for Terarium, 10,322, down 21 from last week. The ranking of Terarium would be 956th of all cryptocurrencies. That is the lowest ranking we've had since the token was launched. Current market cap, 7,300,000. Now, if you're to go back 2 weeks, you could say, boy, that's a pretty strong reduction. Not quite 50%, but pushing up on 50% reduction. But you have to remember, in this particular week, this was the week that the exchange launched. So you can see there was quite a big run up from the week before that. In the crypto market, two things that you see. A, if the exchange is launching, a lot of us view this as a positive thing. I think people bought in. And then, of course, there are the people who are crypto traders that will buy the rumor and sell the news. And in this case, if they did that, bought in this range and sold here, they did pretty well for themselves. So you can see the week after the exchange launch, we were essentially right where we were the week before. Since then, we've lost, not quite 2 million in market cap. It's still a pretty substantial drop, and we'll get into why that is. Price again, 9028. About 56,000 in volume in the last 24 hours. The burn this week has ticked up to 73.97%. You can see there are just 28 trillion tokens remaining before we're down to 26 quad, or a full 74% of the tokens burned. In the last week, 21 trillion tokens burned, almost 22, and in the last 2 weeks, more than 50. So we should burn up the remaining chunk of that 74% here in the next week, certainly in the next 2 weeks. So let's jump over into Twitter, start taking a look at what's going on in the community. Now, I'm going to start with a couple of polls that have been launched recently by the development team. Starting with one that was December 29th. This particular poll was for us to vote on which token we would like to see listed next. And so the two options were Doge and Shiba. As you can see, Shib won pretty handily at 80%. And so what result did we get from that? Here just a couple of days ago. Did I miss it? Yes, I did. Right here. Okay, January the 7th, Shib launched on the Terarium exchange. So this is a really nice ad. Of course, everybody knows Shiba Inu is a very popular token. And so, people who are using the exchange, the more options they have, the better, right? If you're a trader, you want to be buying cryptocurrencies, you don't want to be limited as to what you can get your hands on. Milton has said that they'll be adding many, many pairs over the next several months, but this certainly is a nice addition to the platform. Now, A couple of other polls that Milton released, these ones, I don't know. I'm kind of reading into this, but I don't know if he wanted the community to vote in favor of these initiatives or if he was just floating it out there. But the first one essentially says, technology challenge, Terareum will build a DEX or a decentralized exchange in the next 60 days. The community shot this one down. Almost 74% of the people who responded to this, and there were 1,000 votes, which would be, there's 13,000 holders, so 8% of the total community said no. Let's not build a decentralized exchange at this time. And if you look in the comments, there's a lot of people saying, hey, let's not get distracted. We don't need to do anything more, essentially, right now than just deliver on the current utilities that have been promised. We know later this month, we're expecting to see phone apps for iPhone and for Android. So good stuff potentially coming later this month. And the community shot this one down. Now, another tweet that he launched right here, this one was on the 6th of January. And he says, everyone must be thinking of the large supply that we carry. So as a community-driven token, I will leave the choice up to my holders. And the question is, should they do a V2 token right now or not do a V2 token? He kind of gives some pros here. I don't see any cons list, which makes me wonder. I mean, it almost makes you feel like, are they wanting to move forward with the V2? Now, there were questions that have come up about a V2 in recent AMAs, and the consensus at the time from the development team was that they didn't really need to do a V2 because they'll be launching the Terareum blockchain later this year. I think the estimate is out about 6 months, so in that June-July timeframe, and that when they transitioned from the Ethereum blockchain to the Terareum blockchain, they could take that opportunity to reduce the supply. And essentially, it works kind of like what they would refer to in the stock market as a reverse stock split, where just for instance, let's just say you had 10 shares, or in this case, 10 Terareum tokens, and that they were worth $10, they could reduce that supply to 1, and it would still have the value of $10. So the fiat value stays the same, but the number of shares, or the number of tokens in this case, could be reduced dramatically. And what that would do is just take a lot of zeros out of the price, because essentially the market cap divided by the total number of outstanding tokens is what the price is. So we would reduce the number of tokens, the market cap would stay the same, and the price would move over. Your tokens, again, your total value is the same, but that number is a lot easier for the whole world to deal with. 9 zeros before you get to money digits doesn't look as attractive to a lot of people as 2 zeros might look. So 0.001 versus 9 zeros and a 1. So the community in this case, again, a little tighter, this poll, but 59% of the respondents said no to the V2. And so, again, I don't see a cons list. I don't know if Milton was kind of feeling like he'd like to move in this direction, but he is saying that as a community-driven token, he'll leave this choice up to the holders. So it'll be interesting to see if for any reason they decide to move forward with either of these initiatives where the community didn't give a favorable vote to the idea of doing a V2 or of doing a decentralized exchange at this time. So some interesting polls. Now, the other thing that came up, if we were to look into the Etherscan, there was a marketing wallet sell this week. Showing 6 days and 16 hours ago, it was 538 trillion tokens. That is the equivalent, in this case, of 142 ETH. It's about $180,000. Of course, a sell like that, it has a predictable result on price action. Okay, so the price drops down on that sell. And then I don't know if investor confidence is kind of split on that one. So you have a few more people selling out. Now, this question did come up in the last AMA. would the development team see a need for tapping into the marketing wallet again? And I'll just let you hear the question and hear Milton's answer, and then I'll give some analysis on that. So this is an hour, 5 minutes into the AMA.
All right, I got two questions. The first one is, will there be a need to sell any more tokens to employees or no?
As on date, there will not be any necessity. So we will let the exchange start generating a certain amount of volume, and that responsibility not only lies with the dev team, but also with every holder. See, we need to start generating a revenue for the functionality of new projects that we do, right? So example, the blockchain.
So I'm going to go ahead and just cut it right there. You can go listen to the full response. But Milton says, as of that time, he didn't see that there would be a need, that they would let the exchange start generating some revenue. Now, it's hard to say what's going on with the exchange right now. I don't know how much revenue has been generated. We don't know how many people have signed up for the exchange. These are questions right now we would have to get the answers to in another AMA. With a lot of exchanges, you can actually go into CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and you can actually see what the volumes of those exchanges look like. Milton actually addressed that in this same AMA, where somebody asked, are you going to list the exchange on CoinMarketCap? And he said yes, that it does take a couple of months after you get the exchange launched, though, to get there. So we would have to get more information. Now, I'm not going to pretend for a moment that I have any idea what it takes to run the exchange, what they're up against. I don't know what the marketing funds were used for. Milton certainly does address this in his tweets, essentially saying that every penny taken out of the marketing wallet will be returned back to the token as soon as they start generating revenue in the Terarium exchange in the form of a burn. Additionally, they'll be segregating funds from the revenue to initiate monthly burns. And he says that's his word. So, the question is, how much revenue is being generated? Is it enough revenue that they're able to, start funding the business activities of Terarium, to pay the employees, to pay for the cost of technology to be produced? And I don't really have those answers right now. There are answers that I would like to hear. Do I like it when big sales come out of the marketing wallet? Well, from a price perspective, I don't, right? Because nobody wants to see your investment take a hit in price. But by the same token, again, I have no idea what they're up against. I don't know what they took the money to use it for. So far, they've been delivering on the things that they said they're going to bring forward. For instance, we know the centralized exchange is fully launched as of December 26th. There are a couple big things coming up here towards the end of the month, around the 25th of January. The apps for phone for the Terarium exchange should be coming. And so I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to keep, putting my trust in the team until they prove otherwise. And in this particular case, again, I have no idea how much revenue they're generating. I don't know if the response to the centralized exchange or the amount of time it took to ramp up getting people through KYC and on board to where they can start trading and the team can start collecting a transaction fee on those transactions. I don't know if the response was slow or if it took more time. The bottom line is, it's fully transparent, right? We can see the wallet and see exactly what's going on. A sale was made, and so hopefully we'll see less and less sales out of the marketing wallet and more of Milton backing up his word that any money taking out of the marketing wallet will come back to the community as big burns. And then, they're talking about accelerating that burn with segregating a portion of the revenue from the exchange to buy back and initiate more burns, which again, kind of might take care of some of this issue down here of the supply. So, all right. The last thing that I want to look at on Dr. Praveen's feed, he talks just about the fact that we're verified on Terarium now. So the Terarium Twitter feed has the blue check mark, which is cool. And then he links to an article that just talks about the fact that the Terarium exchange has listed Shiba Inu. And so hopefully for folks out there who are trading Shib, it's a good sign for them. For people that want to use the Terarium exchange, it's a very popular token. I own some myself in Coinbase. So I'd be just as happy to store that on the Terarium exchange as I am to store it on the Coinbase exchange. So good stuff there. All right, friends. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video today. I'm sorry about some of my enunciation isn't as clean as I'd like it to be, because I do feel like I've still got some swelling going on in my mouth and nose area here. But let me just give you a quick peek at my reflections, and I will go ahead and sign this one off for the week. So my current bag sitting at 13,289,515,000,000, an increase of about 1.7 billion over last week. I have crossed over in the last 2 weeks the 50 billion mark in reflections. I have 51 billion reflections tokens at the current price, worth about $14. So not too shiny, but it's always good to see your bag increasing while we're waiting for price action to return. And I think at least the general sentiment to me in the crypto market seems to be improving. We're seeing some price action on Ethereum and Bitcoin in the last couple of days that will give us hopefully some hope that dollars might start flowing back into crypto. And, I think a rising tide raises all the boats. So Terarium will benefit from money coming back into crypto. And then, of course, Terarium's got a lot of big things coming on. So the more press we can get out there, the more the team can deliver and increase investor confidence, then hopefully we'll see some price appreciation in that direction too. Friends, a bit of a long video today, but I appreciate you sticking with me all the way through it. Have a great, great week. Check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.